My 24 male, wife 22 female had an affair while I was away for work. We decided to move past it. Now she's pregnant and we can't agree how to proceed. I suppose I'm searching for guidance as well as an opportunity to rant. Sorry if this isn't the appropriate forum for it. My wife and I have been married for 2 years and have been together for 4 years. I work on a river barge, so I'm gone from home for roughly a month at a time for work, followed by 2 weeks vacation. I've been doing this for a year now, ever since I was laid off from my previous work. I just got home from work and discovered that my wife has been having an affair with an old boyfriend who has just returned to town. I asked her how many times, and I'm sorry I did. She stated she wasn't sure and that it had been going on for a while. They began communicating on Facebook a few months ago, but Innocent was merely catching up till the last time I left. They agreed to meet up this time and had effectively been sleeping together all month while I was gone. She claimed she had intended to terminate it when I returned, but she realized she had to come honest. She allowed me to check through her Facebook message inbox and text for evidence, and the communications were consistent with her statement and timeframe. My first thought was that the marriage was finished. I felt deceived and heartbroken, and I didn't believe I could ever trust her again. I work so that she does not have to work during the school day. Being loyal seemed like the least she could do for me. She understood what marriage meant to me long before we exchanged vows. We are both Catholics. We're not perfect Catholics by any stretch of the imagination, but we're extremely devout. I made it clear to her that marriage is a lifelong commitment for me. To me, the phrases "in sickness and in health" and "until death do us part" have meaning. I told her that I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her, but only if she could assure me that she felt the same way. I remained at a friend's house for a few days to mull it over. First, I spoke with our priest. He reminded me of what I had joined up for and what I believed in. Marriage is a lifelong commitment, which requires the ability to forgive and move on from troubles. He suggested that for the time being, I look for a job closer to home so that I can spend more time with my wife, and that we seek marital therapy, either via the church or with a therapist. I also spoke with several of the older men I work with, which offered me some perspective. Many of them had been through similar experiences. Some of these marriages endured, but many did not. But they all agreed that spending significant amounts of time away from home at a time may be difficult for any marriage, but particularly for young couples. I understand how it feels to be continually lonely, and how difficult it is to be alone in an empty home. We spoke, and she told me she loved me. She assured me that the affair meant nothing to her, that she was just lonely, and that she would discontinue any communication with the man. She recognized that she would have to strive to regain my confidence, so she promised to allow me access to her Facebook and to check her phone at random until I could trust her again. She also consented to attend marital therapy. On my end, I've promised to look for a nearby job so that I can spend more time with her and concentrate on our marriage. We aren't having right now, and haven't been since she told me. I wanted to take things slowly when it came to being intimate again, and she has supported that. We've kissed, cuddled, and slept in the same bed. She has lately insisted on giving me hand jobs, which I am okay with. She claims she only wants to know whether I still desire her and if she can pleasure me. I really desire her, and I appreciate all she's done for me. However, there was no. It's not her fault, it's my fault. I still find her beautiful, but I suppose it will be long before I feel like having sex with her again. I think I'm still creeped out by the thought of it, as if she were unclean or something. She knows how I feel and accepts it. She offered to let me cheat on her in order for me to get even, or for some physical relief, but I denied. I don't want to mess off anybody else. I simply want to be with my wife and want everything to return to normal. We discover out she's pregnant 2 weeks later. The other man is obviously the father. So far, I'm the only one she's told. Because we are religious, abortion was never an option for us. I told her I wanted her to place the kid for adoption. I'm ready to forgive her and heal our marriage, and I'm willing to look beyond a lot. What I know I can't do is live every day with a reminder of her adultery and this other person entangled in our life in some way. It's impossible for me. I realize it probably makes me a bad Christian, but I have to trust that God knows my shortcomings and forgives me. She wants to retain the child. She claims that the other person has no need to know about it, and that she recognizes that our marriage will not be able to survive with him in it. But, in her perspective, it isn't the baby's fault. The infant was not born as a result of an illicit relationship, and that by placing the kid for adoption, we would be needlessly causing it to suffer. She also claims that the kid is a part of her, and that she wants me to be able to love and accept the child instead of the other guy. I understand where she's coming from, and I realize how difficult it must be to carry a kid and have it growing within you for 9 months knowing you have to give it up as soon as it's delivered. But I'm not going to be able to accomplish it. I'm not sure what more to say. She has consented to accompany me to our priest's office to discuss it, but regardless of what he says, I don't see either of us changing our minds. My marriage may be ruined, and all I want to do is drink till I pass out. I can't believe it, but we haven't even told our family about the adultery, much alone the pregnancy. The entire affair is humiliating, and I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't want people assuring me that we're in their prayers, but then passing judgment on our marriage and speculating on how each of us failed. I just want it all to stop. Thank you for taking the time to read this. I'd want to hear from anybody else who has gone through anything similar and had their marriage survive. I could use some hope right now. Edit. Many thanks to everyone who responded. I'm going to see if I can meet with an attorney tomorrow to figure out what I need to do to avoid being financially liable for the kid. I anticipate her to be enraged and to see this as a power play to coerce her into adoption. It's obvious to me that I couldn't be content parenting another man's kid. It's just too much to ask. I want to speak with her and inform her that, although I forgive her for the infidelity, the marriage is doomed. We've reached a point where one of us must lose in order for the other to win. There is no such thing as a half baby. It's either all in or all out. Furthermore, it is not fair to deprive the father's kid the opportunity to know he is a father or the youngster the opportunity to know who his father is. I don't hold him responsible for what occurred. I don't know him, and he doesn't know who I am. I doubt his morality in sleeping with a married lady, but it's not like he owed me anything or vowed allegiance. If anything, I should be upset with my wife. I can't even do it. I simply want to get this out of the way and move on. Thank you once again, everyone. Edit 2, update. I chatted with a close buddy and attorney about it this morning, and he volunteered to defend me and work with me on the cost. I've made the decision to file for divorce. As I already said, I have forgiven her for her actions. But I've also recognized that forgiveness does not imply that one of us should stay in the marriage. I'm not capable of raising this kid. I don't blame the youngster, but I know I would despise it every day if I were him. Even if my wife consented to adoption, I know she would be angry at me for pressing her. The truth is that she made her decision emotionally. We both know what she wants the conclusion to be, and sticking to my guns is the best thing I can do for both of us in the long run. If I can receive an annulment via the church, that's excellent. If not, that's okay. I find it difficult to believe that God will not forgive me for this. For the time being, my attorney has instructed me not to notify my wife, and instead to gather any proof of the affair I have. I'd want to think that my wife would not attempt to delete the evidence, but given what has transpired and what is at stake, I'm not willing to risk it. I'll meet with her later this week and ask her to leave.